Okay, so the idea of being born again. What do I mean when I say that, you have to rebirth yourself as an entrepreneur? You have to recreate yourself as an entrepreneur. You have to die and be born again as an entrepreneur. Here is what I mean. Before, I believe that, and I think every entrepreneur agrees with me that, before you start an entrepreneur, there is a before and there is an after, right? So before being an entrepreneur, you had a completely different outlook about life. You had different priorities. You had different manners of how things work, right? Because you didn't know. You simply didn't know. You were never exposed to these environments before. You were never exposed to the possibilities. You were never exposed to a different way of thinking, right? So there is a before an entrepreneur and there is an after. So after you become an entrepreneur, you have like let's say for example the difference between things happening to you before being an entrepreneur, things happening for you after being an entrepreneur. You realize that every single let's say we have this as a car, right? And the car, it drives, and it drives in a desert, in a forest, in like the North Pole, South Pole, wherever, right? It hits somewhere, it gets crashed. It almost gets crashed. So before you become an entrepreneur, you start to, you start to blame circumstances. You start to say, oh, not meant for this car. This car is not meant to be, the car is coming from a, from a malfunctioned company. It comes from a, a bad basis. It comes from this country, that whatever, right? Whatever limiting beliefs you had, you crash the car, you get out of the car, and you never want to drive again. After you become an entrepreneur, you start to look at adversity in a different way. So after you become an entrepreneur, you face all of these rejections, these betrayals, this, that, and the good stuff as well. Because here is what we mean, like when we talk about abundance, abundance means getting a lot of everything, right? So you get a lot of the bad stuff, and you get a lot of the good stuff. The price you pay to get the good stuff, right, is going to be the bad stuff as well. This is something that you will realize after you become an entrepreneur. So after you become an entrepreneur, you start to drive the car, it crashes somewhere, right? You have now the knowledge, the internal knowledge, the internal, the self-improvement, the mindset now that, okay, I can just steer the car. I can just steer the car somewhere else. I can just, take a step back. I can take a step back, take a breath, keep on driving, and then I won't crash the next time. Or even if I crash the next time, there's going to be a more minor crash than the first time. It's not going to derail me as much as the first crash was. This is something that you will discover after you become an entrepreneur. You start to become a sort of like you start to become born again, because something in you has to die. Something in you has to die before you start the whole thing. And during the process, as let's say, you're going through the curve, right? So as it goes up, right, a car crashes one time, it goes down, right? You might have a collapse, right? Now the second time you're more careful. You go up, 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 and then you crash again a little bit, and then you go up, 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 up again, and then you crash, right? So this is something that you are bound to face an entrepreneur, athlete, as a value-based income kind of person, and this is something that you will ultimately face, because let's not lie to ourselves. If you discover your purpose, right? If you like what you do, if you are if you fell in love with the mission and the vision, right? The opposition will send its entities, right? You will get a lot of opposition will be there. And by opposition, I don't mean people, or I don't mean persons, or I don't mean this or that, or any organization. By opposition, I mean beliefs, right? Beliefs of that change is not possible, beliefs that Oh, you come from there. How the hell? Who the hell do you think you are? You come from the, you come from that country, or you come from very average beginnings. Who the hell do you think you are to start, putting on a suit and putting on a tie and think that you want to be, you want to play in the big leagues, man? You're a nobody. You're a this. You're a that. It could be inside your own mind. It could be inside your own mind. It could be inside anybody's mind around you. This is why you have to be able to discern properly, and be able to have this kind of knowledge on who is infected by this mindset, right? Because unfortunately a lot of people are infected by this mindset, so we have to pull away from them, right? You have to pull away from this limited thinking kind of mindset. You have to love them from a distance, right? And a lot of people have the expansive kind of mindset. They have the mindset of, no, things, new possibilities are possible, right? New beginnings are possible. We can go here, we can go there, we can expand, even if we fail, even if we hurt ourselves, even if we fall into our bums, we can get up and we can, cleanse ourselves, and we can go after it again, right? So this is how you make the difference between being able to properly face the opposition. Because as you grow more, as get out there more, the opposition is going to increase, and it's going to be more inside of your own mind than it is anywhere around you. All right. So this is something that you have to keep in mind, and you have to be willing to know the before and after effect of being an entrepreneur, and you have to realize that um realize the effect of fluidity. You have to be very fluid. You have to be like water. You have to not react. You have to keep going forward, and just adjust and realize, and adjust and upgrade, and adjust and upgrade, until you're able to get go after where you want to go.